Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. It is the 27th of April, 2026. Looking like a pretty nice morning out there. A little mix of clouds and sunshine today. 30% chance of showers, high of 85. And then look out, Tuesday's going to be kind of a rainy day. On and off, we've got a couple of rounds of rain coming in here. 70% chance of showers, high of 82. Wednesday morning, looks like about a 60% chance of rain. 82 the daytime high, and then it looks like we'll have a couple of nice days of weather once we get through Wednesday. But it's much needed rain. We didn't get as much as maybe we thought. Some areas a little bit more than others on Friday night. So bring it on. Let's get the rain totals up a little bit, and I guess we're going to get some of that. And kind of keep an eye on what's going on tomorrow because there is just a small chance of, some severe weather.
Yep.
And we'll have a better handle on that as we go through the day today. And first thing in the morning, we'll keep you updated throughout the day here on Talk 99.5.
Riley Blackwell telling us all about it, and then later we'll have Emma Kate come on and tell us all about it as well. And obviously the picture will get clearer as we get a little bit closer. Speaking of closer, 2 weeks from yesterday is Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks from yesterday. You want to make it easy on yourself? Send Mom a basket and flowers from Contry Brothers Gift Baskets. All you have to do is go to contrybrothers.com and point and click. I mean, doesn't get much easier than that. Mom doesn't need to know how easy it was. All she's going to know is she got some great flowers. She got a lovely gift basket full of a lot of her favorite things. And, it didn't set you back much, but it really made an impression upon her. That is one of the things that they can do for you at Anthony and Company. Anthony and Company is another place that you could definitely go for Mother's Day. For Contry Brothers can make you look very, very, very good for not a whole lot. And, I love them. Every time I've ever sent one of these baskets, I always get a phone call that is a rave review. So you should definitely get on board. Contrybrothers.com, contrybrothers.com. And they got a whole listing of all the holidays that you could be buying for. And then there's a whole other section where you can kind of sort through it any way you see fit. The website is slap full of great ideas. Contrybrothers.com. Go there and find out more. 7:08 our time. You want to do this thing?
Let's do it.
Okay, you.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, a 31-year-old teacher from California opened fire at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night, intending to kill as many members of the Trump administration as possible. Cole Allen, a Caltech grad, posted countless anti-Trump posts on social media before the attack. He was taken down seconds after storming the lobby of the hotel where the dinner was taking place. We know that Allen once worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory back in 2014 when he was an undergrad at Caltech. The family of the shooter alerted law enforcement after the incident, after Allen sent the family an alleged manifesto just prior to the shooting at the Washington Hilton. Allen is expected to be formally charged with using a firearm during a crime of violence and an assault of a federal officer during his court appearance, which is expected to happen today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this guy, a lot of issues going on there, and you're thinking to yourself, you spent 31 years going through this whole education process to become a teacher, and this is how it ends? This is how it goes? I know he thought through this. I know he thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to carry this out, and I'll probably spend the majority of my life behind bars.
Or be shot dead in the process.
Maybe.
But I will not survive this. Interestingly, he wrote at length about how shoddy the security was. He said, I don't know if they're trying to prank me or what, but there's like no security here at all, so this is going to be a walk in the park. You didn't get within 50 yards of the president, so I would say the security was better than you thought it was, wasn't it? He got stopped, and that's good. The New York Post had a story about how after the aftermath of the incident, there was a woman running around grabbing wine bottles off the table.
Yeah, there was another guy.
Hilarious.
He actually, everybody's down on the floor, and people have left, and he's over there taking another bite of mashed potatoes.
Nice.
They could, on camera, yeah, right. You see one woman grabbing the wine. I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And the other man's just very casually eating his mashed potatoes.
And
I'm
they
like,
said, I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah.
That's all she said.
he was like, well, I'm going to eat my meal if everybody's
I'm leaving here with
leaving.
something.
I mean, they got the guy. The gunfire started. No one was assassinated, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
and I'm just going to continue to eat my mashed potatoes because they're pretty darn good.
I'm a little confused because first we heard that there were the Secret Service fired on this guy, and they said there was multiple shots, and the only shot that he apparently fired was the one that hit the one Secret Service agent because he had the vest on. But then they said that there was as many as 7 gunshots people heard. Was that the Secret Service firing? And if so, how did they miss this guy?
Well, that's what I would want to say. And the other thing that I questioned when I saw this whole video of him coming through the lobby area, I wonder how much further he would have gotten if he just walked. If he just walked normally through there, would they have picked up on, was it real obvious that he had weapons? I think that if that were the case, they would have stopped him. But if he had them tucked and hidden away, how far would he really have gotten? Could he have made it into the actual ballroom where the dinner was being held?
Fair question. I think
because when he took off running, that was it. They knew. They were like, "Oh, somebody grab this guy."
Here's a bad guy.
Yeah,
he's not supposed to be here. I don't think anyone was supposed to be going through that hallway anyway. So he ran because he thought maybe if I can just outrun these guys, I can make it to those doors and I'll be in. Didn't happen.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So I got a question, and y'all know I kind of try to chime in a little bit because I know we, as the listeners have figured out that I'm a little bit different than most of the producers up here. But my question is, if you don't, whether you like President Trump or not, because we have to have a serious conversation about the fact that he is polarizing. Why is it you guys feel that he's getting these assassination attempts? And I know we got a sector of people that believe he's staging it and a sector of people that's believing that these are real attempts. Why do you think we're having these issues with him?
I have never seen a president that inspires more hatred. That people, I mean, I know people who are absolutely 100% absorbed by this man. He lives in their head rent-free
on both sides
all day, every day. I mean, and the question is, why is that? I wish I could tell you. I mean, I wish I had an answer for you. It's funny to me because you remember they were talking about having people wearing like the First Amendment on pocket squares and things as they went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I'm like, guys, the First Amendment is not under fire here. You're having a White House Correspondents' Dinner. The fact that there are correspondents and you're all getting together for a dinner is living proof that the First Amendment is not in danger here. But, I mean, you have people out there who are like, you can find this on video again and again and again, Darian, especially at old Charlie Kirk rallies, where people will say, well, I mean, President Trump is a racist. Give me an example. What has he done that's racist? Well, just watch the news. If it's so obvious, just give me an example. Well, I mean, I can't think of one right now. Oh, you can't think of one, but he's racist. We've just decided he's racist, and you cannot come up with a single example, honestly?
Well, then, and liberal media outlets are not helping that situation.
No, of course not.
They're fueling that fire.
Absolutely. If you're showing up, and you had Keith Olbermann, who was like, everybody at this thing needs to put on a display, and they need to be, strongly speaking out against the president. I'm like, you're not a journalist at that point. You are an advocate.
Absolutely. And that's part of the problem.
So do you think in this particular situation, we know all publicity, whether good or bad, sells. So do you think this has just been more media-driven with him more than any other president?
They're not helping. That's for sure. They are not helping.
All right, let's get on to our other stories.
Number two.
Mediators from Pakistan presented the U.S. with a new proposal from Iran. They said they will reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the conflict if the U.S. will allow ships to flow in and out of Iran. They also said they want to postpone nuclear negotiations until a later stage. Of course, that's what they want to do. President Trump knows that the offer won't work. We will lose the leverage that we need, and what we're doing right now is cutting Iran off from vital supplies and their oil leaving their ports to other countries. President Trump said he intends to maintain pressure on Iran through the blockade, and he's pretty much told, Jared, just don't bother going to Pakistan.
Mhm.
They know how to reach us. They can call us when they're ready to negotiate. But they are not yelling uncle yet, but they're starting to get a little bit desperate here because the fact that they're saying, oh, we want to, we want to end this conflict and we'll open up the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, but you're getting desperate because the oil reserves are going to dry up. You're not getting any supplies in there, and your idea is not working. And Donald Trump knows, keep applying pressure economically to Iran, and they'll eventually give in.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's not going to. He's not playing their game. That is a ludicrous, almost kindergarten way of well, what if we just open the strait now and then we talk about the nuclear thing later? What are you, children? No,
It doesn't
we're
work
not
that
doing
way.
that. That's not going to happen.
Not gonna.
We're going to keep the pressure on.
Finally, some students at UAB are working to build a racing program. After months of work, the club has been put together and they're ready to compete in the Collegiate Racing Series. They hope to have everything in place in order to compete in 2027. This is pretty cool. Reminds me of my nephew went to Georgia Tech and did work on like a solar car, and he had to have a whole team put together to build this thing, and it took like, an entire year that they were there at school to do it. This is more NASCAR, type racing and things like that. I think the car that they showed was a Miata, a souped-up Miata. It was kind of cool looking.
Nice.
So, hey, yeah, congratulations to these guys. Hope they have fun with the whole, race car.
And learn a bunch.
Yeah.
While you're in the process.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point, really.
Absolutely.
Denson and Fuller, my insurance agent, should be yours. They are on Crescent Avenue in Homewood. They're local and they are independent, and they can make sure that you're neither overinsured nor underinsured. They'll make sure that you have everything you need in your insurance. They actually told me, hey, look, for just a couple more bucks a month, you can have like this towing service and, roadside assistance, and it's like belonging to AAA but not having to pay that high. But I was like, you are kidding me. Okay, nice. Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. They said, you also have this thing over here that you do not need, and we're going to take that off the insurance. Okay, great. I love it. They take such good care of me. Denson and Fuller, 414-1476, or find them online at densonandfuller.com. 722 Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. It's Dixon, it's Vining, it's Dixon and Vining. Steve is off today as he had a busy weekend of tower announcing at Talladega.
Exciting race.
Yeah. He always has to have Friday and Monday off. First off Friday because he's got to get prepared, and then Monday, just in case they end up putting the race off an extra day. They do that sometimes when it rains or whatever, but fortunately they got the race in yesterday.
Yep, they sure did. With a big old wreck.
I was going to say, not fortunately for the half the field that got taken out in that wreck. How about that? Good
That
Lord.
really changes things.
Man, oh man, oh man. A Florida Home Depot manager has been arrested. They were wondering, how is he managing to sell so much? This guy, he's like world record sales. This man is moving merchandise like nobody's business. Well, it turns out that he was slashing prices on 4,500 transactions, totaling $55 million across various stores. He did this from December 23 to April 26. Basically dished out about $4.3 million in unauthorized discounts
Good heavens.
to repeat clients, trying to boost his sales and get higher bonuses. Oopsie. Yeah. Those discounts
Finally caught up to you, dude.
cost the company over $4 million, and by increasing his sales using those discounts, he was compensated with larger bonuses. This guy's amazing. Look at how much he's selling. Home Depot launched a probe into Jimenez after its assurance and advisory management program noticed a high-quality, high-value, high-markdown order during a visit to a store in Hialeah Gardens where he worked at the time, according to the arrest document. Leadership then allegedly noticed that this appeared to be a pattern with Jimenez sales. He reportedly abused his access to internal systems and adjusted prices on bulk orders from repeated core clients. Jimenez was released on $15,000 bond, but was ordered to stay away from the Home Depot and stay out of the Woolworths. Man.
Yeah, you gotta oversee some of this. It's like if somebody's getting all of these bonuses, it's like, what, eventually they're going to be looking over his shoulder going, what is he doing at that Home Depot store?
This guy's a magician.
What's he doing? So he's doing an outstanding job.
Yeah.
Could you share with us your, what's your game plan
Look at how much he's selling. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, when you have access to the internal systems like that, you can go in and change the prices. I suppose you could reward your
customers and get your
regular-
bonus and
yeah.
rip off Home Depot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is ripping them off. Yeah, I don't know what the markup is on $55 million worth of stuff, but yeah, it cost
Hey,
them
look,
$4 million.
Riding lawnmowers today, half off. Come on by.
I would take that.
Power saw.
Take that deal.
$5 power saws.
Yikes, man. This is all they have, that contractors section back there. There's an old contractor's desk and everything.
Been
And
there, done
sometimes,
that.
I'll find myself back over there when I'm doing a big project. I'm buying like a lot of 2x4s or whatever. But these guys have got pallets and pallets and pallets full of stuff that they are buying because they are contractors. And I'm like, why are contractors going to Home Depot? Don't they have like their own little contractor place that they can go?
Sometimes. Depends upon, I guess, what they need.
Yeah?
But
I
like
know-
lumber and things like that,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of choices.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, there's 84 Lumber, right?
Yeah.
That's a place that a lot of people used to go. And then, is there a Marvin's around here?
Think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
a
there's
couple of those.
another place you could feasibly go. I mean, I feel like Home Depot is like a retail store, and I'm thinking.
Well, they get discounts too.
Okay.
The contractors do.
Yeah, they
there's a contractor's discount.
Well, sure. This guy was
But not
discounting
I
them.
mean, normally they get a normal
You
discount.
get $4 million off this order. You're buying a lot of stuff.
You get a tax exempt too.
As a tax exempt. Well, that makes sense because it's wholesale, So you should be getting tax exempt at that point.
But they were tax exempt, and they got the reduction, and then they got the special deal from this guy.
Yeah.
If you're shopping at his Home Depot, steal of a deal. That's really what was going on here.
Yeah.
They were all robbing Home Depot. Everybody.
By the way, while we're on the subject of Home Depot and tools and things of that nature, I cannot believe this, but I have misplaced my socket set. I have no idea where it is. How do you lose an entire socket set?
That's hard.
I mean, I obviously I was using it in various places.
Did you have a family member come by and borrow it?
No,
No,
no.
they didn't
I
need
just,
it.
I just,
Maybe the
I
neighbor.
left it somewhere.
Oh,
I don't know where it is. I'm going to scour my truck and see if it's underneath, but I may have
Well,
to go pick up another
head
one.
down to Harbor Freight and get you another one.
That's where the first one came from, man.
Yeah.
That Pittsburgh stuff from Harbor Freight. That's it's. Let's put it this way, it's good enough. I'm not a contractor,
Right.
and that's the point. You know,
It works good for those of us that just have this or that to do every once in a great while.
we call it light duty. You know, I'm not exactly building houses or anything like that. I'm just doing some light duty work around the house. But I can't believe that I lost my damn sign. How do you?
But you know what? If you don't have the right tools when you're doing a project, there's nothing more frustrating
Yeah.
than saying, "God, I need this or that." I got a fence project going on at the house right now, and that exact same thing came up yesterday. Gosh, I wish I had them. So that always happens.
I learned this a long time ago. My dad didn't teach me a lot of stuff, but he taught me this. He said, get the right tools. Have the right tools for the project. Before you start the project, take a look and go, what are we going to need? And if you don't have it, go get it.
Otherwise, you're going to be there
Yeah.
in total frustration.
So when you're looking at something that takes a socket set and you go, well, I can do this with these pliers. No,
No, you can't.
You're going to be so miserable.
You're going to be here for about 2 hours
Yeah,
doing that, and it could have
try-
taken 5 minutes.
Trying to make that work, just go get the right tool for the job. Plus, I'm a guy. I like buying tools. It's fun. Guys say, well, I hate shopping. No. You might hate clothes shopping. You might hate grocery shopping. You love shopping when it's for a boat or fishing equipment or guns or tools.
There
Yeah,
you go. Or
yeah.
golf clubs or something like
I
that.
can spend all day in the tool aisle at
Come on,
at any of these places, Home Depot for sure, but Lowe's or you name it. I send me down to Harbor Freight with a gift card, and I'll spend all day there, man.
I agree with you, Dixon. We're speaking the same language.
7:30 with Dixon Dividing on Talk 99.5 and Talk99.5.com. That is Darian, by the way. He is filling in for Steve while he is off, and we very much appreciate him taking up the space because somebody got to do it.
Gotta push them buttons.
Neither one of us are qualified, believe it or not. All we can do is sit here and flap our gums.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're selling yourself short. Y'all would be fabulous on this side.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about that.
We'll
not so
never
sure.
find out. With any help from the good Lord at all, we'll never find out. 7:30. Stick around. Hey, I think we got a political candidate coming up. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maroon 5. Band that was named after Adam's favorite color and favorite number. I think that's it. I could be wrong. Great song. Evokes, a lot of imagery, which if you've ever had a rainy Sunday morning and just decided, I'm going to stay in bed, or we're going to stay in bed.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
I know.
We need I
love a good rainy Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Tough to beat.
Mm-hmm.
It is Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. We could also use a nice sunny day so we can get out on the lake with a boat from Rodney's Marine. Grab ourselves one of those Silver Wave or Starcraft pontoons or tri-tunes with the Suzuki-powered engine. They got the 26s. They've got used boats. They have got in-house financing. They have got great low monthly payments, and they have got a sales team that is going to facilitate getting you into the correct boat for you and your family. They got them big and small, man. And, you want to make sure you get the right one so that you have a great boating experience.
Yeah, Starcraft and Silver Wave, the Suzuki engines. The service that you get from Rodney's Marine is something you will absolutely love. It's easy to pick out that beautiful boat you want, but what about the folks that are behind the sale of that boat? What do you need done to the boat? Maybe you want some accessories, stereo system, some lights, all the things that you would need for your boat. You can purchase that stuff from Rodney's Marine and put it on yourself, or tell the guys out at Rodney's Marine, hey, can you put the lights on? Hey, can you install this blaring stereo that we're going to enjoy out on the lake? They're happy to do that too. And anytime you need anything done to your boat, they can do that. Think about renting a boat, 525-1500. They can tell you what they've got, when it's available, maybe something big coming up with an anniversary or a birthday or something like that, or you just want to get out with the fam and see what it's all about. Rodney's Marine, Highway 231, Lake Logan Martin in Cropwell. Again, 525-1500. Follow them on Facebook and at rodneysmarine.com.
Go to the phones where Tim is standing by with a question for moi. Tim, you're on Talk 99.5 with Dixon and Vining. What's up?
Hey, Richard. I know you, and I think Valerie is a little bit of a movie buff as well, but are you aware of the fan theory of between the Goonies and Back to the Future?
No, I am not aware of the fan theory between the Goonies and Back to the Future.
That they occurred on the same day in time.
Uh-huh.
We know from Back to the Future, when Marty gets in the time machine, it occurs on October 26th, on a Saturday, October 26th, 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know that date, but we're not told the date that the Goonies adventure happens. But if you will watch them again, when at the beginning of the movie, when Josh Brolin is hanging upside down doing sit-ups, there's an October 1985 calendar hanging in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We do know also that it is a Saturday because Mouth is trying to tell them that let's hang out. It's our last Saturday together because their neighborhood's about to get bulldozed over for a country club.
Yep.
And then later in the movie, when they are in the closed restaurant, which the Fratelli family is hiding out in, Chunk finds a newspaper about the Fratellis escaping prison, and it is dated October 24th.
Aha.
2 days before.
2 days.
So that means the day that the day that the Goonies adventure happened would have been the same day that Marty went to 1955.
This is deep, Tim. This is really deep.
Now help me out here, Tim. Where was the Goonies adventure? Where did that take place? Was that like in Oregon or something?
It was in Oregon, yes.
Oregon, okay, yeah, and of course, Back to the Future took place in California, if I recall correctly.
Right.
Yeah, right there at the Lone Pine Mall. Beautiful. Thank you for the call, Tim. I love stuff like that. I don't know why. It's unhealthy, and yet I just
Still
absorb
go
it.
down that road.
I absorb it like a sponge. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
I have here 14 store-bought cinnamon roll brands ranked worst to best.
Of course you do.
Do you like the cinnamon rolls?
I love cinnamon rolls.
Who doesn't love cinnamon
This is very
rolls?
on
I like
brand,
the
Dixon.
orange cinnamon rolls too.
Orange ones,
Yeah,
you
the
like
orange
those?
flavored ones.
Yeah, okay. Starting off with Pillsbury Grand's pumpkin spice rolls.
Ah, I bet those are good.
Yeah, well, they're number 14, so apparently not that good.
I would like those.
You like the pumpkin spice?
Yes.
Yeah, not a big fan myself. What about Trader Joe's organic jumbo cinnamon rolls?
Never had those.
I don't think that these are actually bake yourself, are they? They come in packs of 5 with a side of vanilla icing. These buns are trying to be healthy. Trader Joe's originally sold cinnamon rolls made from lesser quality ingredients.
Let me just tell you something.
Okay.
You're trying to do cinnamon rolls healthy. You're doing it all wrong.
I agree.
You can't do that.
The more butter, the better.
Just the more of everything in it. Make it deliciousness.
Entenmann's cinnamon swirl buns. Again, these are already in the box, already made, already iced, already everything. Entenmann makes a pretty good product.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like their cookies. You rarely find them in the Southeast, but every once in a while you can run across them. I do like their cookies, and I like the occasional piece of work from them. Sister Schubert's.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are in the freezer section, maybe?
I don't know. They're around here. Patricia Schubert's little sister couldn't pronounce her name, so she called her sister, decided to adopt the name permanently, modified the recipe to make bigger rolls, which the company claims have 50% more cinnamon. Yum.
Looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Heat them up. Let's go.
I haven't had those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this next one. This is danger.
Cinnabon frosting-filled Cinnapastry.
It looks like chocolate, maybe?
Looks like there's some kind of chocolate in there. Let's see. Concept behind the Cinnapastry is that the icing is the best part of the cinnamon roll, so there should be more of it. So it should be located in the center of the pastry instead of on top.
Put it everywhere.
So the Cinnapastry looks more like a muffin than a cinnamon roll.
You can put it in the center. You can put it on the top of it, wherever you need to put it.
Made up of the same characteristic Cinnabon dough. Unfortunately, the Cinnapastry is slightly too sweet. More frosting, it turns out, is a lot of frosting. I agree. I don't think that the frosting is the best part. I like the when you get to the gooey middle.
Yeah.
And it's just the dough is very doughy and it doesn't get much better than that.
Make sure it's nice and heated up.
Right. Oh, man, got to have that. Entenmann's glazed honey bun. I don't think that even qualifies.
No.
El Camino Real Bakery Petite Cinnamon Rolls. They're petite. They're little cinnamon rolls. Favorite Day Bakery Cinnamon Rolls. So they put an artiste put the icing on these. That looks
look fancy.
Far too nice.
Yeah.
IKEA Cafferap cinnamon buns.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
You have to go to IKEA to get these?
You have to go to IKEA to get these.
Wait a minute, y'all playing?
No. This is the same kitchen that churns out the Swedish meatballs. And as we found out, the fish balls.
Weird.
We found the fish balls a couple of weeks ago, remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Furniture store and food, just the equation there is weird to me.
I didn't know fish had balls.
That's what's so funny about it.
Pillsbury Original coming in closer to the top.
I love these.
Yeah, those are pretty awesome. It's tough to beat the Pillsbury Original. Rhodes Bacon Served Cinnamon Rolls. Immaculate Baking Organic Cinnamon Rolls. Immaculate Baking. Okay, those look really good, I have to tell you.
They do look good.
Those look quite delicious, if I'm being honest. At number 2, Pillsbury Grand's cinnamon rolls, right?
What's not to love about those?
They are.
You know, they need to give you double the amount of the cinnamon stuff that you pour on top.
I agree. They're just
They
not,
really do.
Yeah.
It's never, and you're like, there's plenty on there. Chill, Val.
Right.
I was like, no, it's like not quite having enough salad dressing, you know, when you pour your own salad dressing.
Right.
When you're out at a restaurant. Could I get another one of those little cups?
A little tiny cup.
You got to get a bigger cup or do 2 of those.
Yep.
You really need a little more of
I agree. I think more cinnamon is better.
Yeah.
And the Grands, of course, are the big ones. So, delish. And then last but not least, Annie's Organic Cinnamon Rolls. They love, every time they review stuff, Annie's always makes it really high on the list. Tasting Table.
Yeah.
Hannah Berman was the one who wrote this up. And they lost me because my daughter at one point brought home some Annie's organic mac and cheese. And we had just been doing like the ranking of the mac and cheese thing, and Annie's had ranked very high on the list. And I was like, I've got to try some of this. It was awful.
Really?
It was almost inedibly bad, in my opinion. I was like, what are you doing? What? So, you know, anytime I see Annie's, I'm like,
no.
I question this. I think, it's a little bit like driving a Tesla. You don't love not the Tesla. It's a little bit like driving a Prius. You don't really love driving the Prius, but you love what driving the Prius says about you.
Yeah.
So I think these people are picking.
What does it say about you?
Oh, it says that you care about the environment.
Yeah, what
Yes,
else?
yeah.
That's what I was afraid
Yeah.
you would say.
That you're a wuss.
I judge you now.
That's
I'm being judgy.
that you're a complete wuss.
Well, I know you don't take long trips.
No, in the Prius, maybe. The Prius is more likely than the Tesla, but
Yeah, probably
those
so.
little tiny wheels on the Prius
Little
are just
itty bitty.
that's
You
just
could get
a
out and run beside it.
deal breaker for me. So I think they add Annie's because it's got the organic label on it. And they're like, oh, we'll put this on the list because it'll make us look like we care. No.
You're not fooling us.
No, thank you. 746 Dixon and Vining. Stick around. A lot more where that came from. 751 Dixon Divining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. You may want your deck to look a little better, a little shinier, a little newer, a little fresher. They get dirty, decks, patios, things of that nature. So do roofs, so do siding. This is why you need DrivewayWashing.com. DrivewayWashing.com, Cody owns it. He's owned it for 11 years, branched out from just driveways, and now he does a little bit of everything, including he's washed a couple of schools. He's done a handful of public places that you might know, like, for instance, Protective Stadium or the BJCC. He does a lot of restaurants. He can take care of your place for sure. Yes, obviously, he can clean your driveway, but he can also do your outdoor windows if that's something that interests you. Call 915-0646 and get a free estimate. 915-0646. Most jobs take 3 to 4 hours, and he can do it while you're gone, while you're away, while you're at work, whatever. He'd be more than happy to finish that job for you, have you come home to a clean whatever it is you wanted, patio, deck, et cetera, DriveWayWashing.com. You can also text him at that number, by the way, 915-0646, and set up an estimate. He'll probably be the one, Cody will probably be the one who ends up coming out and giving you the estimate because he likes to be very hands-on with his company. Nick says, when you have people in the media and officials in the government calling him, Trump, things like Hitler and a threat to democracy and a king and all these other things, you're going to have a segment of people that are going to want to solve that quote-unquote problem. I agree, and that is certainly part of the problem here, which is why I think people, there's a couple of things that you can say that will shut down the conversation. One is if you refer to somebody as a racist, you go, oh, you're just a racist, so I don't have to listen to anything you have to say. I'm not going to listen to a racist's opinion about anything. That is a quick way to shut down the conversation and negate something that somebody else is saying. The other is when you say this person is Hitler. Well, we've had the conversation about whether or not you'd go back in time and kill baby Hitler. When you call somebody Hitler, it makes killing them okay. And that's part of the problem here. I'm sorry. The man has not killed 6 million Jews, for instance. The man did not march into the Sudetenland. He didn't annex Austria. None of these things that Hitler did have been done by Donald Trump. And you can just stop that nonsense. When you start talking about First Amendment rights, generally when you talk to these people, what you get is, I'm afraid for the future that he's going to X, Y, and Z. I said, great. When he does that, we'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't done any of those things yet. No. If you want to talk about freedom of speech, go back to when Joe Biden was pressuring Facebook and Twitter and others to not allow certain types of speech about COVID to be posted. You can't write anything about the shot. You can't write anything about whether or not this came out of a lab. You're not allowed to suggest that maybe masks don't work. You're not allowed to suggest that 6 feet of distance between people is pure bunk. You're not allowed to suggest that we shouldn't have closed the schools. All of that was forbidden speech, and the Biden administration pressured social media to not allow people to say it. You couldn't talk about Hunter's laptop.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. And I'll give you even a more recent example of what the media does. President Trump, pretty much will sit down with anybody. He doesn't care, left or right,
Absolutely.
Wherever. And he was on with 60 Minutes. And what gets handed and what gets spoken about, the shooter at this dinner on Friday night, the manifesto
mm-hmm.
gets brought up and begins to be read. It was Nora O'Donnell that did this,
mm-hmm.
talking about the things that Donald Trump was a rapist and some other things. And he's like, this is awful that you would do this, that these things that were said about me are not true, and that you would read the shooter's manifesto
mm-hmm.
and make that a part of this interview. That's part of why the liberal media outlet is complicit in getting these messages out to make him this evil person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what her point was when she did this interview with him, was to have another opportunity to bring up something that's not true about him,
yep.
and him having to defend himself again.
X is littered with claims of that Donald Trump is a racist and a pedophile. I mean, littered. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a post that calls him a pedophile. And I'm like,
Where are those facts?
You have less than no proof on the subject. Less than oh well, this girl, she claimed this, that, and the other. Yes, and she recanted less than a year later, and said, "I'm sorry, I was on drugs." You couldn't line up the dates for when she said these things happened. Trump was elsewhere. None of what she said was true, and yet these people, they hate Donald Trump so much. They are so ready to believe anybody or anything. Like E. Jean Carroll, a nonsense story. She can't even remember what store it supposedly took place in. Was it Neiman Marcus? Was it Bergdorf Goodman?
As I have said, if something that traumatic happened to you,
yeah.
you would remember details like you wouldn't believe. You would know the date. You'd know probably the time. You'd know exactly where in the store, not just what store, where in the store.
Mm-hmm.
You would remember all of it. You'd remember what he had on, what you had on.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, if it was that traumatic.
She thought she remembered what she had on. Then when we did the matchup, we found out that coat wasn't designed and built until 2 years after she said the incident took place.
Well, that's the problem with this, is that somebody can just say something in a whole cloth that it happened, and this man has to keep defending himself, and the liberal media outlets are complicit in keeping those narratives going.
Bill from Barrie says, tell Darian that Trump is the most consequential president. He's about action, and every action has an equal reaction. A case could be made, I mean, here's a guy that managed to end the war in Gaza, although I will say that Hamas is still armed. I thought we were going to disarm them. They are still armed. He is grabbing the 47-year Iran problem by the horns. He's decided it's time to do something about that, take care of that situation once and for all. He has managed to get several $1 trillion in investment in the United States. He's brought manufacturing back. We've got relatively decent unemployment, or about 4.3% in the unemployment department right now, which is almost full employment. You really want to aim for about 3.7, but 4.3 is nothing to sneeze at. Inflation has stayed down, and he's managed to basically tell NATO where to get off. I mean, he said, we're tired of this. We are footing the entire bill for you guys. And I love it when you hear from people who say, how come we can't have a healthcare system like Finland? Well, Finland can afford to pay for all of their citizens' healthcare because they're not paying for their own defense. We are.
That's right.
We're doing the same thing for Germany. We're doing the same thing for Austria. We're doing the same thing for Italy. When you start talking about all these world-class services that those countries have, we pull defense, we stop investing in NATO, and these guys suddenly have to start paying for their own defense. I'll be interested to see how that goes. So it ain't going to be pretty.
No, it won't.
Not going to be pretty. 8 o'clock, let me see, what else do we have? Let's see. Traffic center missed a slowdown going through Pelham at the 119 exit. That's kind of a daily thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Tom says Black Jacket Symphony put on a great show, even though it wasn't Kiss. Did all the good stuff, and the guy who did Gene was spot on. Just thought I'd give you a review. As Black Jacket Symphony doing Kiss's Destroyer. Had several friends that went to that. And then Jerry drops this line, Tim needs a girlfriend.
Tim was having some fun, huh?
Oh.
I was like, man, this is a lot more information than I needed this morning.
Frosty says, IKEA Cinnabon. Some assembly required? Yes, absolutely.
Always.
You're going to make it yourself.